Yeah, but we need only gay or questionably gay writers.
Well, wasn't that... Well, BBC would like that one, though, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, for all their sort of, PC wanting to hire diverse writers.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did they get the straight white man to do it?
Exactly. Chibnall's the definition of a straight white man.
I know.
Boring fucking rice cracker.
Anyway. Hello.
Hello. Welcome to an actual video where we're going to have some fun.
Hey!
Although we've had a few of those in the advent calendar, but this one in particular I'm excited for because I actually get to talk about Doctor Who properly. Yeah, very sorry about all those Series 11 reviews,
Well,
you know.
kind of progression.
I know some of you like Series 11 and that's great. It's just that for us, because we were so apathetic, it's so hard for us to actually get into a review properly.
And it probably makes for quite boring viewing, and that's fine. If you tune out of our Series 11 reviews, we're not going to be bothered, because we understand that we're low energy and not very entertaining. It's because...
Yeah, I thought that this series was going to be like this cutting edge moment where our channel explodes, because the series was going to be huge, like huge and mainstream.
Yeah.
And it was for the first episode, but then because the audience lost interest, our channel didn't really grow. So it's all Chibnall's fault. Anyway, today we are going to be ranking every series of New Who. Of course, we can't rank every series of Classic Who as well because we haven't seen all of Classic Who. It would be unfair to rank a series of Classic Who when you haven't seen all the episodes.
That's true.
But hopefully sometime down the line, when we can do like a full, like, at this point it would be 37, but whatever it is at that point.
42.
Hey.
If they get that long before they cancel.
Well, I would love to rank all the series at some point. That'd be great.
But for now, it's just New Who.
Just New Who series, because we can compare those and we've seen all of it, so that's, yeah. Yes. That's what we're going to be doing. So basically we're going to be going from 11 to 1, and if we snap on any at the same level, we will snap and discuss.
Yes.
And, yeah, we don't know each other's lists.
Nope.
We have an idea of what's going to be in what section, I guess.
Yeah.
But
upper tier and lower tier.
yeah, like we sort of know what the hierarchy areas are, but the actual numbers, we're not sure.
No. Excuse me, chewing. I'm very hungry.
Yes, we are very hungry after that Series 11 review.
So hungry.
Let's try not to get into it, although we probably will have to at some point, but let's try not to get into a John Sim tangent.
It always seems to be John Sim.
Why don't we get into a Anthony Ainley tangent or an Eric Roberts?
We should do a video on why John Sim is awesome as the Master.
Yeah, but everyone...
Except when he isn't.
Yep, yeah, but everyone, except for the people that hate The End of Time, which is like half the fandom, already knows that.
True.
Yeah. Anyway. No more mucking around. Rock, paper, scissors? Right. Paper, scissors, rock. Does that mean I'm first?
If you want it, it's up to you.
Hang on, let me just think for a second. Yep. Yeah, I'll go first. So, yeah, constructing this list was very hard because there are so many different factors that go into ranking a series. Episodes, mainly episodes is my criteria. Because episodes is, for me, what defines Doctor Who really is like, you could have a series, but like after the fact you could jump into episodes, and a lot of the time the series that I will rank predominantly depends on what episodes I can go and watch and enjoy over others. And I'm very mathematical in the way I figure this out, because I'm quite exact. Like, I don't want to mislead myself and just choose based on like one feeling I have towards something. Like, I don't want one episode's importance to be bigger than another, even though you could argue potentially openers and finales do have more significance. However, I like to think of Doctor Who more as an anthology, especially when I'm comparing New Who to Classic Who. I think that's the best way to do it. So I'm quite mathematical, and basically what I've done is I've worked out what my ratings in a roundabout for each episode are compared to all the others and in a series, and figure out which ones I have the most liking for episodes in each one. And then from there, I tweaked my rating based on characters, series arcs, finales, everything. Like, all the in-betweens. But my main criteria is episodes.
Yes.
Yeah.
My criteria is slightly different. I sort of base it on a few factors. Firstly, the package as a whole. Could I sit down and watch this series as a whole and enjoy it? With a level of consistency.
Yeah.
Like, a level of consistency between the episodes.
I think one thing that I may not have considered enough, but probably should be, is structure. Because,
that's what I'm big on.
Yeah, because you can have great episodes, but if they're not structured properly, it can damage the series.
Excuse me. Mine was structure, the package as a whole, my emotional response to the series.
Yeah.
And the characters within the series and how they are portrayed.
Yeah, doctors and companions and villains. And
yeah, everything.
What is? That.
Yeah, so for me, I sort of...
and tone as well.
Yeah, tone's a big one. I like to try and break it down, but the most important one to me is the package as a whole, as it is delivered to me as a whole meal.
Yeah.
Do I like all the ingredients? Or are the best ingredients so good that the lesser ingredients make the whole meal delicious?
Right. So...
starting with you.
So we do differ slightly in terms of our criteria, so now that you know that, we can begin our list. I'm getting butterflies in my stomach. So it's 11, yeah, because there's 11 series. My number 11 is Series 6. I don't think that comes as a surprise to you at all. I despise Series 6. And I know that's controversial because I know a lot of the Matt Smith fans love Series 6 because obviously it's big sort of nostalgia.
So where a lot of people came onto the show.
Yeah, it's a lot of, especially in the US as well. I know that Series 6 was big for that. But I think when I first watched it, I enjoyed the ride. But it's the series on rewatch that has been damaged the most.
Sorry, that's my other criteria, rewatchability.
Yeah. And upon rewatching Series 6, I came to find that I really don't like a lot of the episodes. I don't like the story arc. I have a lot of issues with the characters. Just basically everything about Series 6, except for like a few fleeting moments of brilliance, is poor in my mind.
And the tone is all over the place.
Oh, it's messy. It's a headache to watch. Like, it's so hard to sit through for me just because it's so zigzaggy and wobbly and...
But not in a good way, where they try something creative and new each episode, but in terms of the writing of the characters and the way they're presented is inconsistent.
Yeah, Series 6 is, for me, is when the new series changed, and it changed in a bad way. It shifted away from what... And I know this is all personal, but like this is the point where that I felt like Doctor Who changed from what I liked about the show. Like, there was a whole bunch of things that I loved about the show at first, and a lot of that changed with Series 6. And I know that would be a different experience for someone who's jumping on at that point. But yeah, it's just really poor. And the episodes, like Curse of the Black Spot. Like, if you've seen, it's in my... Spoilers, it's in my bottom 10 at the moment.
Go check it out.
So is Wedding of River Song.
Go check it out.
And, like, I hate the Flesh two-parter. I think it's absolute just...
I was surprised that wasn't on your bottom 10.
Drivel! It's so hard to watch. Yeah, it's close to my list, though. I really don't like the Flesh two-parter. I think that... and also, fucking hell... Let's Kill Hitler is just a messy episode. Like, the fact that Amy and Rory have just lost their baby daughter and they don't give a shit, like they're not even thinking about it, is just poor writing. I think some of the dialogue in Series 6 is really bad. Like, it's cheesy in a bad way. Like, it's not cheesy in like a
tongue-in-cheek
way.
a
tongue-in-cheek or even like a hammy, like 80s Who way. Like, it's cringe-worthy to watch. I think Night Terrors is shit. I think Closing Time is shit. Like, there's elements to it I enjoy because I like the Lodger. So part of the sort of the Dr. Craig thing I like. but the way the Cybermen are used is just you can't forgive it. I think the Silence as a villain works in regards to the fact that they're very scary and they have a cool concept behind them, but the way they're written into the series is really poor. And I think that they are one of Moffat's villains that got away. So like they could have been as iconic as like the gas mask and the Weeping Angels, but because the writing around them was so like just wobbly, it was,
for lack of a better term, they became forgettable.
exactly. And it's a sad thing because it's such a brilliant idea, but yeah, I think
That's the thing, is Moffat had thousands of brilliant ideas for the
yeah.
direction of the show and didn't choose any of them to
Yeah.
focus
I
on,
almost feel like he tried to do them all at once in Series 6.
as opposed to honing it and focusing it and really finding one of his many brilliant ideas and pushing that one forward.
Yeah, and another thing, man, the change in Matt Smith's Doctor from 5 to 6 is noticeable.
He goes from childish to a child.
Yeah, he is sometimes a jabbering idiot. He is just so caricatured and annoying. I just want to fucking punch his face. He's so irritating sometimes. Oh, it's painful. It's really painful. And the only compliments I can give Series 6 are the Doctor's wife, the girl who waited, and the God Complex.
And the production design.
Oh, and the production design's great.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous series.
But like all the stuff that people love about this series, like Good Man Goes to War, it's just all, it's really lightweight, overrated Doctor Who. Like, it doesn't feel like Doctor Who to me. It's all just hype. It's a very hype, like, feels like the kind of thing.
Like Series 11, it's shallow, but it does have that kind of over-the-top Hollywood.
Yeah,
sheen.
it's just like, it feels like the kind of thing you see on an American TV show.
A bad American TV show.
Bad one. Like, and it's just like, it's not my cup of tea. I don't like the whole hype train thing with no substance. And yeah, episodes like A Good Man Goes to War, whilst I don't necessarily dislike them, I just don't think that they are as great as people say they are because they don't have enough substance to them, and it's not my cup of tea. And the whole River being Amy and Rory's daughter is all mess as well. Basically, Series 6 is the bottom of my list because it's just a fucking shambles and a waste. And it's only in moments that it's brilliant.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why it's bottom 11. What's your number 11?
Oh dear. This is going to upset some people. Rewatchability and charm are two things I greatly, greatly, greatly respect and want out of Doctor Who. Both of which are severely lacking from my number 11, Series 11.
Yeah, I thought so.
Everything I like about Doctor Who is neutered. It's dull, pretty, dull, underwritten, poor choice of showrunner. The actors, who are all brilliant, are poorly served by the scripts. No, not by the scripts. By the direction of the showrunner.
The only one that got away with it was Alan Cummings.
Yeah, Alan Cummings broke...
Oh, and maybe Sharon D. Clarke and Bradley Walsh, but that's it.
Yeah, and the actress who played Rosa?
Oh, yeah, the one from 42.
Yeah, she, like... The non-Chibnall episodes were good to great, but completely held back by this just bleak, miserable, clinical... shallow feeling that Series 11 holded, and I'm never going to really watch it again. I have no drive to go back to it. It just makes me tired thinking about it. I'm sure there are people who like it, and I know there are, and fantastic for them, but it's just not my Doctor Who. I just can't stomach it. It bores me. It lacks what I like in Doctor Who. That flair, that spark, that imagination, that drive to be the best thing on television. There's no ambition, it seems. And that really sucks. Hoping Series 12 is much, much better.
You nothing else to say? Except for fuck the Saranga conundrum?
Fuck the Saranga conundrum!
Ugh, dear. My number 10 is Series 7.
Ooh.
Another Matt Smith series. I was struggling with this one because I was thinking where to put this one. Like, either this one or the next one up. But the reason why I did is because, 2 years. Not 1, 2 years. And the only reason why it's even at this spot is because of Day of the Doctor.
And Night.
Yeah, Night of the Doctor, and like those of the Doctor episodes. If it wasn't for those, this would be down with Series 6 and possibly even below it. Series 7 is a nothing series. And a mess at the same time. Like, even Stephen Moffat himself admitted he had his eye off the ball with this one.
All pomp, no circumstance.
Yep.
All show, no depth.
Yep. Series 7 is no one's favourite series. I mean, I think, out of 100 YouTubers, I found one guy who had Series 7 as his favourite. And his criteria is, like, production values, so, of course. Because Series 7 looks great.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe is a piece of shit. Asylum of the Daleks is a piece of shit. Dinosaurs on a Spaceship is a piece of shit. A Town Called Mercy is brilliant. I actually really love A Town Called Mercy.
It's fantastic.
But it's one episode. The Power of Three is a piece of shit. The Angels Take Manhattan robs us of what could have been a classic, and it's only decent. The Snowmen hasn't aged well. The Power of Tears defeating the Great Intelligence. Wow, how creative. How creative. The Bells of St. John, I like it, but it's not a classic. The Rings of Akaten, I don't think it's as bad as people say it is, but it's not a great episode. It's really poorly stitched together, and it's quite cheesy.
It's okay.
It's okay. Same thing with Cold War, quite a mediocre, especially because it's the return of the Ice Warriors.
Yeah.
The problem with Series 7 is that, number one, there's no two-parters, and two, none of them really do that much, do they? Except for, like, a few, like, very small amount of them. Like, I think Hyde is an extremely overrated episode. People like it because it's gothic. The problem is that Clara-Matt Smith dynamic does not work in a gothic horror story. It kills the tension. Like, the fact that they take their entire attitude throughout Series 7B is take the piss out of everything. And that just spoils all the atmosphere. I think Journey to the Center of the TARDIS could have been an absolute gem of an episode, but because Stephen Thompson wrote it, it just goes down. Like, it's disappointing, because you want to see awesome Doctor Who, and what you get is just mediocre. Crimson Horror's grown on me slightly, but it's only because of Mark Gaddis's, like, sort of sly humour. In the middle of Series 7, like, that's refreshing. But it's still not a great episode. Nightmare in Silver, butchered by Stephen Moffat. Neil Gaiman hates that episode because he wrote a two-parter for the Cybermen, and Moffat took that, turned it into one episode, and made it silly. And it doesn't utilize the Cybermen at all. It uses them as a gimmick. And I think that may be part of the problem with Series 7 is their entire...
It's heavily reliant on gimmicks.
Yeah, their entire mission statement was to have Hollywood of the week, and every week was a gimmick. And that just doesn't work for Doctor Who. You need to actually have substance. And the only reason why it's not at the bottom or tied for the bottom, like near the bottom with Series 6, is because of those of the Doctor episodes. And the reason why I include them is because Stephen Moffat said the reason why he wasn't focused on Series 7 is because he was focused on the 50th. And that's why I include them as part of Series 7. Because, by his words, it's almost an excuse, but at the same time, it's still 10th place on my list. I don't think Series 7 is really that good at all, to be honest.
Oh, no, yeah. It's messy, to say the least.
Yeah.
That's all for...
Yep.
All right. My number 10? Series 6.
Series 6. The one I put last place.
Shambles. Very few good episodes.
It's like a bad roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster where you're strapped and go in properly, and you're like, I want to get off, but not that way.
Yeah.
Stop, slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down, because I'm going to die, because this is horrible.
Yeah.
It just... Many of the same reasons you listed. It became too glossy without the human... The human heart was lost. And it became Buck Rogers.
But not good.
But not fun. Like, fun for some people, absolutely. But for myself...
Very silly.
It was too silly.
Yeah.
And I just didn't vibe with it. And I get why people like it. I really do. But Series 6 just does nothing for me. And basically every reason you just listed. So I'll let you move on.
Yeah. But, I mean, basically the thing is... Like, another thing I think I brought up slightly, but, like, the problem with a lot of episodes in Series 6 and 7 is just, like, the amount of times that they have, like, the power of love end a story is just painful. Like, it's like, you got this, like, for example, an episode like Night Terrors, which should have been this incredible, like, hotel gothic horror, is a shit show. It's like this, anything that's scary in the episode isn't scary, it's just boring, and then at the very end, it's ended by this kid hugging his dad, and then all the dolls go away. Like, it's fairy tale bullshit, and I hate it.
Not good.
Not good. My number 9 is Series 11. For all the reasons you said, except I can cherry pick the good from the bad. I can sit down and watch the best episodes from Series 11, which none of them are written by Chibnall. Or I guess technically his name's on Rosa, but...
That's Marilyn.
Yeah.
Mallory Blackman's episode.
I was bored by this series, but I don't think it was enough for me to put it last. I think if this series was full of just Chibnall, this would be last. But thankfully, because there was some episodes I liked, I put it at this position because that Matt Smith, like, Series 6, 7 period, I hate. Like, it burns me to watch those episodes, and I can't put Series 11 below them, but it's still a poor series. Series 11, just waste of time.
Yeah. Bad. Mediocre.
Yeah, I can't... I mean... You already know my feelings on all the episodes if you've seen the reviews, so go watch those.
And go watch the recap.
Yep.
My number 9 is Series 9.
I thought that would be the case. I thought that would be lower than that, actually.
The only... I can give you 4 reasons.
Yeah.
4 reasons why it's not the bottom.
Yeah.
Heaven Sent, Face the Raven, Under the Lake Before the Flood.
Yep.
Some of my favourite episodes of Doctor Who.
Yep.
All in one season.
Yep.
Only one of which was on my top 10, but still, those other three are stellar episodes.
Yeah.
Pure fun Doctor Who. It's just everything around it goes from mediocre
to mixed as well, like stuff like Magician's Apprentice and the Zygon Inversion. It's half great, half shit.
It's a weird sort of tonally bipolar series where it goes from really serious and heady to Doctor Disco and everything, and it's just a mixture of really good to terrible to the worst shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, Sleep No More and Hellbent.
Oh yeah, it's just a killer. If I could cherry pick more so than I can, this would be higher, purely because of my love for Heaven Sent. But, again, big on rewatchability and the whole package.
Yeah, I think the thing about Series 9 is it's a good one to go and pick an episode out of and watch.
Yeah.
But to watch it as a whole
is a mess. It's a punch in the gut, and then someone picks you up, and you're like, oh, this is nice, and then they punch you in the gut again, and then they pick you up, and then they stab you.
Yeah.
And then they pull a knife out and they patch you up and you're like, oh, this is amazing. Thank you. They give you a replacement like mechanical, like Iron Man, arc reactor heart. And you're like, wow, I'm more alive than I've ever been. And then they just yank it out and just leave you spurting on the floor, writhing in your own blood, crying because you're like, why did this happen to me?
Frustration.
You're number 8 or number 9. What are you up to?
8, I think.
Yeah, go to your number 8.
The next two I was very struggling on as well, because I sort of have them at the same level.
Mm-hmm.
And they have different reasons for why I prefer one over the other. But I looked at the criteria, and I looked at how I actually felt about most of the episodes, and I came to a decision. My number 8. Hang on, let me just think in my head. Have I got this right? 10. Yeah. My number 8 is Series 8.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the reason why is because I absolutely hated this on first viewing. When I was 16, I thought Series 8 was just the most boring piece of garbage I'd ever seen. That's been topped now by Series 11, and on rewatch I've come to appreciate Series 8 more, especially Capaldi's Doctor. He's really growing on me. But this was just the Clara and Danny show, and their relationship...
But Danny was barely in it, so it became the Clara show.
Yeah. That especially Clara, just that storyline intrudes in on episodes that should be great, and it's so frustrating. Like, just some of the concepts in Series 8 are quite cool. Like, Mummy on the Orient Express is an episode that people praise as being a classic, but I can't ever see it that way because of Clara. Because her storyline, her stupid storyline with the Doctor in that series, gets in the way of that episode, and it devalues that episode, and it's so annoying. It's like I want to love that episode, but I can't. It's the same thing with Flatline and Listen and Into the Dalek and Deep Breath and Death in Heaven and fucking... The only one where I think it works is The Caretaker. That's the only episode where I actually like the Dr. Danny Clara thing. But apart from that, ruins the series. It's so annoying. I do have a guilty pleasure for Robot of Sherwood, though. That one's quite fun.
That's great.
It's one of Mark Gaddis's best episodes. It's weird. It's always in like the lower series, like 7 and 8, where Mark Gaddis stands out. Yeah, Series 8's just... Like... The tone is so... Like, it's weird saying that now because Series 11's worse, but Series 8's tone at the time was really dull compared to every other series that had come before it, and it's just so... It's annoying because it's like... I just want more, because it's Capaldi's first series, and he should be coming in, you know, balls to the walls. He got this new idea for this Doctor, and it's this great idea to make him different from the Doctors we'd seen before, and his character in it is great. It's just, I wish the series around him was better. And it frustrates me because, as a package, I get to the end of Death in Heaven and I feel nothing. And that's annoying. It really annoys me. And Missy... In Series 8...
That's the most obvious twist.
I've got nothing to say. I've got nothing to say about Missy in Series 8. She's just like... basically her entire character is based around the fact that she's the Master, but she doesn't actually do anything that really resembles the Master, to be honest. Kill the Moon and In the Forest of the Night. I hate those episodes. Yeah. That's all I got. Oh, fuck Time Heist as well. Yeah, no. Series 8, it's just underwhelming. It's not the worst thing in the world, because there are elements to enjoy, like Capaldi's Doctor, and there's some episodes that have cool ideas. It's just like, need another draft, you know? I feel like that's the problem. It feels like a first draft. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Right. What's your number 8?
Series 7.
Series 7.
Irritating.
2 years long, might I remind you?
Irritating. Inconsistent. Shallow. Did I already say annoying?
No.
Annoying. In your face in a bad way. with the exception of the Doctor trilogy, quadrilogy, if you count Night of the Doctor. But if we were just counting Night
And A Town Called Mercy, because I quite like westerns. And
Town Called Mercy is fantastic, but it's in and amongst a pile of shite.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. It
uh,
comes after like my least favorite period of the show, like the end of series 6 into the start of series 7 is just, it's like 6 episodes in a row of shit.
It's just, and again, whole package, so up and down, and Matt Smith's Doctor,
so inconsistent. Like one episode, like Dinosaurs in a Spaceship, he'll be like a fucking 2-year-old, and then A Town Called Mercy, he's like deadly and threatening.
He's great when he's deadly and threatening.
Yeah.
But basically, when he was, even though they hadn't cast Capaldi and Moffat didn't really know what he's doing with the next Doctor, those moments where it retroactively foreshadows Capaldi, I love. Matt Smith is at his best when he's angry.
Yeah.
But yeah, Series 7 just doesn't do it for me. The Hollywood thing just, it's not what Doctor Who's about for me.
Yeah.
Just not my Doctor Who. There's not much else I
And
can...
like we said, the only thing that really saves it is the of the Doctor episodes.
Yeah. If it was just Night of the Doctor, then 10 out of 10 best series ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have much rather had a whole series of McGann written by...
Well, I recently rewatched Series 7, and I got to we watched, I think, from, like, Hyde to Name of the Doctor, so that's, like, most of Series 7B, and then we watched Night of the Doctor after, I'm like, I'll get back to that in my Doctor's ranking.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, Series 7, you'll...
My number 7?
Yes.
7? Yeah. Is Series 9. Yeah, my number 7 is Series 9. It kind of has the inverse problem with Series 8, because Series 8 was held up by Capaldi's Doctor, whereas in Series 9 he's very inconsistent, like Matt Smith in Series 7, but worse. Like, he goes between being fucking extraordinary in, like, Heaven Sent and Under the Lake and all that, to being an absolute idiot in, like, The Girl Who Died in the Zygon Inversion first half. It's really frustrating. And the fact that Clara sticks around is just... Really? Did you have to do that? I mean, even though she's quite good in Under the Lake, but...
Exception to the rule.
Yeah. The reason why I put it above the other series is, like I said with Series 11, I can cherry-pick the best out of this.
Well, the good stuff is...
Yeah, and because I view Doctor Who more as an anthology rather than, like, a TV series, I can do that.
I view it as an anthology series by series.
Right. See, I view it as an anthology episode by episode.
Whereas in Classic Who, it's serial by serial, obviously.
Yeah.
But in the new series, it's series by series.
Yeah, and it's strange that I say that, but it's like, I try to look at it like that, because I think each episode of Doctor Who is very different.
As it should be.
And I think the best of Series 9 is some of the best of New Who. Like,
Best of Who.
Best of Who. It's
Yeah.
fucking awesome, and... Unlike other series, those episodes aren't held back by the series' tonal arc. Like, when you get a good episode in Series 9, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that's because Series 9 went for a more classic style approach, where they had lots of two-parters and longer serials, and I think that helped. And they also didn't have this invading storyline like in Series 8.
Yeah.
And that's why, even though Hellbent's the biggest travesty of all time... Because I view Doctor Who as an anthology, I can put Series 9 slightly above 8.
Yeah.
And it doesn't... on first viewing, it didn't bore me like Series 8 did.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
It's actually... Even if the story's shit sometimes, it's actually quite exciting to watch some of those episodes. I think Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar, is quite a really fun one to watch, even if your watching is wrong.
Yeah.
It's quite engaging. It's quite intense. And that's what I would compliment about Series 9, but it's still poor.
Yeah, it's very poor.
In its own way.
Alright. My number 7 is Series 8.
Yep.
I would rather watch a set of bad episodes with a couple of good ones with moody prick Capaldi than a bunch of episodes which are bad with a couple of good ones with flailing his arms Hollywood Smith. That's all I have to say.
That's fair enough.
They're pretty much neck and neck in terms of overall quality.
Yeah.
But I much preferred prickish Capaldi to
Yeah.
foppish Smith.
That's one of the main reasons I put 8 over 7 and 6 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Because basically all my problems with Series 7 I had with Series 8.
Yeah.
Except Capaldi is really good in it.
Yeah, and I think the writing in Series 8, even if it's not good all the time, it feels more tight and focused.
It's more matured.
Yeah.
More
Like
grounded.
the episodes feel like they actually have more put into them. And I
Yes.
think it's because Moffat was actually focused in that
Yeah.
series as opposed to 7 where he wasn't. And everything's so all over the place in 7.
The best thing about Series 7 is Capaldi's cameo in Day of the Doctor.
And Paul McGann and John Hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, and David Tennant's alright too.
He's not bad.
Yeah.
And Billy Piper.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She's so good.
John Hurt and Billy Piper piss all over Clara and fucking...
Billy Piper and John Hurt have amazing chemistry.
yeah.
We'll get to that.
They would have made a good Doctor companion.
Fuck yeah, they would.
Like, mature, Big Finish Billy Piper and John Hurt.
Big Finish, get on that shit.
Well,
boy.
John Hurt's dead.
Time travel.
Derek Jacobi and Rose.
Oh, chill down my spine.
Oh.
Yes. Anyway, yes, that's why
Yeah.
Series 8 is where it's at.
Yeah. I can let out a breath of fresh air now because now I get to talk about series I actually like.
Mhm.
Every series from here on I actually really like. Even if I have flaws with some of them, I can actually say that I would watch this series happily.
Yes.
Any of these from now. My number 6? 6, right? Now my number 6 is Series 10.
Ooh.
Series 10 for me was a return to form. And I was so happy because it had been so many years of disappointing series and just lackluster bullshit. Series 6 to 9. Like, that period killed the show for me, in a way. Like, it wasn't all bad, some of it was really good. But to finally have Series 10, this stripped back, laid back, it's not going to push, the story to you. It's just the few Doctor Who fans that are left at the end of the Moffat era who just want something to sit down and watch. Series 10.
It's taking it back to basics properly,
Yeah.
unlike Series 11.
Yeah. It was... Series 10 is what Jodie's first series should have been like.
Absolutely.
It's such a great jumping on point.
Because Series
And
11...
the relief to finally have a new companion
I
in
know,
Belle Potts,
yeah.
and she's good, and Moffat wrote her like a human being,
And Moffat made Nardole not annoying.
and Capaldi is fucking extraordinary in Series 10.
Every episode.
He is the Doctor. The Doctor. In every episode, that Doctor from Series 10 could be plucked and put into any other era of Doctor Who, and he would fit.
Oh, he's
Pertwee
amazing.
era, Hinchcliffe era, Hartnell, Troughton, Davison, Tennant, any era.
He's fantastic.
He's so good.
The best of every previous Doctor brought to the surface in this wonderful representation of the character.
It's fucking awesome. And some of the episodes don't quite hit, and the ones that are decent, I wouldn't say they're extraordinary. I think the only episodes from Series 10 that I would consider classics is the finale episodes, World Enough and Time and the Doctor Falls. I love those episodes. There's episodes like Oxygen, which I really like, and I quite like Thin Ice and Knock Knock and Pilot and whatnot. However, I think the thing that lets down Series 10, I think, is just the fact that there wasn't enough classics.
Yeah.
I think the Monk trilogy is a big part of that, because I think a concept like Extremis could have been a classic, but because it's in the Monk trilogy, it's held down quite a bit. The episode is quite choppy to watch. And it's frustrating because I really want to love that episode. Same thing with Permanent in the World. That could have been like a cool invasion one, but because it's in the Monk trilogy, again, let down slightly. And then fucking hell, Lie of the Land almost killed Series 10, and it was kind of like a crawl to the finale. Empress of Mars, Eaters of Light, like those episodes are just a bit boring. They're like Empress of Mars is fun, but like it's just
Nothing.
it's just a Mark Gatiss episode. And Eaters of Light is it's so boring. It's really boring to watch. Not terrible, but nothing. But overall, I really like Series 10, and it was fun to finally relax watching Doctor Who again.
Yes, just to ease back into it, especially after Series 9 killed the show.
Yeah.
For me, at least, Series 9 killed my passion for the show. And as you said, this is what Jodie's series should have been, because Jodie deserved a good first impression.
Yeah.
Taking it back to basics is fine, but she deserved that energy.
I think Series 10, out of all the New Who series, feels the most like Classic Who as well.
Oh, for sure.
It's very classic style, and I think that's great. It's very relaxing to watch.
And Capaldi just looks like he's got it.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Right.
Right. Your number 6? I think I know what it is.
Series 2.
I thought so.
Fun, but I don't like the romance subtext, which brings down a few things. I have a lot of fun with it, and like you, everything from here going up, I love. Like, I could sit down and watch any time.
Yeah.
But
especially because this is like quite a nostalgic period of the show as well.
But this also has things like Fear Her.
Yeah.
And because I don't buy into the Rose Doctor romance, I'm not as moved by the ending or the fight, the end goal, you know what I mean? This series is fine, very entertaining. Satan Pit 2-parter is extraordinary.
And like Girl in the Fireplace and School Reunion's great.
Oh, it's
Army
wonderful.
of Ghosts.
You'll see my...
Even Tooth and Claw's a nice slice of gothic horror.
Oh yeah, New Earth can... But it's...
Christmas Invasion's fun though.
Oh, Christmas Invasion's very fun. But if you want to know my opinions, we'll finish Series 2 eventually. But most of Series 2 is up, and I'm on most of those episodes.
But I assume the gap between Series 8 and Series 2 is quite large.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Series 2, I would happily watch. Series 8, I would begrudgingly do so.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. There's quite a separation.
Yeah. It's a big leap.
Yeah. And I would say the same for Series 9 and Series 10 on my list.
Oh, God,
There's quite a big... Even though, like, Series 9, a lot of there are some episodes that exceed a lot of Series 10. Just the series as a whole, Series 10, I can just sit down and watch and have fun. As I don't have to... Because Series 9 is like, I can get to good episodes and be like, oh, now this is fantastic writing. But, like, I have to really get into it to do it. Because it's like, oh, Clara and Shilda. But, like, Series 10, easy.
Just breeze through it.
Breeze through it. Just like my number 5?
Yes?
Series 5.
Snap!
There we go. Series 5, Moffat's first series. If there's one thing I can say about Series 5 is, even to this day, it feels fresh. It is so before its time. The production, the attitude, the tone, the feel... The just the youthfulness that Matt Smith and Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill will bring to the series it feels great.
Moffat had his finger on the pulse on what he needed to do.
Yeah.
Still had that human element, but beef it up a bit and do it right. Don't underwrite it, don't override it. He just did it, and it worked. And Matt Smith is fucking extraordinary. Matt Smith is at his best. Yeah. Matt Smith is the inverse of Capaldi.
Yeah, he's really good in Series 5. Even in the episodes I don't like Victory of the Daleks, his Doctor is pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very strong performance, especially for such a young, inexperienced...
I mean, the only one I think where he's a bit lackluster is the Silurian 2-parter, and that's because Chibnall wrote it, and Chibnall's a fucking cunt. But yeah, I think... Overall, I think Series 5, in regards to the episodes, I think is quite overrated. Like, people say it's the best of New Who. I think it's quite overrated.
It's very, very good. And as I said, I would happily watch it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. No. It's watching it is fine. It's just,
I agree that it's...
Yeah, I think the actual quality of some of the episodes people overestimate. Like, it's...
And I also, just like the romance, though not to the same degree, I'm not huge on the overall overarching story.
The Dr. Amy Rory romance triangle thing is a bit awkward. It's just like, again, like I said before with Series 8, how like the Clara and Danny stuff intrudes on stories. Like sometimes, like an episode like Amy's Choice, which is just this awesome concept, is intruded by that romance, and it's just like, do we have to have that in there?
Not so much the romance as
the
Doctor and Rory being competitive.
Yeah. But at the very least, it is subtext.
Yeah.
And it's not too bad.
And also, with Matt Smith's Doctor, I buy into him being more separated from the romantic involvement.
Yeah.
which is part of the reason why I didn't get into the River Song subplot.
Yeah,
and
but that didn't really come till later. And River Song was pretty inoffensive in series 5.
No, yeah, in series 5.
And also, she wasn't there all the time. She was only there in a couple of stories.
Yeah, it was really, really strong start to Moffat. When I said, because when David Tennant finally regenerated.
Yeah.
And Matt Smith appeared and he did his little bit with fingers, hands, chin.
Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah.
After that, I turned to my parents and I said, he's going to be good. And I wasn't wrong. He's very good in Series 5.
Series 5, yeah. Yeah.
He's fantastic.
Because there are some episodes in Series 5 that I will, in reviews, I will cut down a bit because I do think people overrate them, like The Big Bang, for example. But his Doctor in that episode is awesome. He's just this magical, wonderful old man in a young body. And I wish his Doctor in Series 5 was how he was the whole time.
Yeah.
I wish they had kept that nuance and depth, but they didn't, and they made him fucking...
And he was different from Tennant.
Yeah.
It's weird, because normally their first series, they're like their previous Doctor, but light. Like, there's a lot of heavy elements from the previous Doctor carrying over. But Smith was the least like Tennant in his first series.
Apart from the Silurian two-parter.
Which was clearly a fucking David Tennant script.
Chris Chibnall.
Yeah, Series 5, really, really good.
Yeah. As a series, I think the problem mainly is just the individual episodes. I only like about half of them. I mean, for example, Vincent and the Doctor is a classic, and 11th Hour I think is a great opener, but just overall there are some in there that I just do nothing for me, like Vampires of Venice, Victory of the Daleks, Beast Below, Silurian two-parter, take it or leave it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to go on to your next one?
Yes, my number 4 is Series 2. Series 2. Wow. I think because this was like the second half of Series 2, I think it's from like Age of Steel onwards, was like the first bit of Doctor Who I really saw properly, like as a fan. So I've got a real nostalgic feeling for the series. And also because David Tennant's my favourite Doctor, so of course I'm going to love Series 2.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. I mean, I've said it like a million times before.
As I've said, John Pert was mine.
Yeah. He's not in any of these series, though.
Series 7.
Series 7. Bloody Moffat's fan wank. Anyway, I think Russell's eye was slightly off the ball with this series. No, I don't think he did a shit job or anything.
No.
But it's just, I think with Series 2, I think it's a very good sort of straight-faced series, but it's not like all-time classic innovation.
It's a very good surface level.
Yeah.
Because 1, 3, and 4 have a lot of subtext and interesting character stuff and a lot of interweaving of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Series 2 is sort of the most isolated and simple.
Yeah, definitely. And as you stated, there is a couple of episodes that fell through in terms of quality, like Fear Her. It's really crap. It's the only episode from the Davies era that just didn't work in any way. Like, really, it's just like the budget and production on Fear Her just really let it down, and the writing as well. It's just one of those last minute issues, and they couldn't fix it. Like, Russell T Davies is great, but like sometimes there are things that he can't fix. And unfortunately, it was most of the stuff from his era where things went wrong happened in Series 2.
Yeah.
But that being said, I still love Series 2.
Same.
I
think it's great.
So many great episodes in it. Like, I love Christmas Invasion. I think Tooth and Claw is a really enjoyable gothic horror. I love School Reunion. I think Girl in the Fireplace is one of my favourite episodes of Doctor Who. I adore that Cyberman two-parter as well, especially because it was my first ever Doctor Who story.
Same. The first nightmare I ever got from Doctor Who was... everything was completely black. All I could hear was the stomping of the Cybermen coming closer and closer and closer.
Yeah. And I absolutely adore the Satan Pit two-parter as well. It's just such a great bit of hard sci-fi and fantasy. And even though the finale is admittedly very blockbustery and quite sort of... it's not like a complex story, I do love it.
Oh, you can't like this is not war. This is pest control.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's a really fun episode to watch. And
You are better at
Um,
one thing.
And unlike you, obviously, like, the Dr. Rose romance thing, like, it doesn't bother me. It's, like, I'm okay with it. I can get it. I can watch it. I can enjoy parts of it. It doesn't trigger me like it does you, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's the best thing to ever happen to show either. Like, I wouldn't say that, no. I definitely think her like, the Rose's dynamic with Christopher Eccleston was way more interesting than the Tennant one. That being said, I don't hate the Tennant one, though. But yeah, Series 2 could have been better,
But it's still very
good, yeah.
Excellent.
Your number 4.
Series 10.
The perfect antidote to Series 9.
It was back. Doctor Who was back. And it was fun.
Mm.
And I was smiling in most of the episodes. And not, like, confused or angry or, like...
Your favourite Moffat season is his last.
He went out, not with a bang, but certainly not with a whimper.
Yeah.
He went out strong.
Yeah.
He went out simple. He went out with his strengths. He also had my favourite monster, my favourite... Well, favourite now, because Omega was fucked up and I can...
God.
The
The Sidemen, you mean?
Sidemen and the Master.
Yeah. Oof.
Specifically John Sims' Master.
I just wish that wasn't spoiled.
I know, because the only thing I have an issue with in World Enough in Time was I knew it was John Sim, because I was looking for him. As soon as a man in prosthetics showed up, I was like, that's John Sim. Get to the Master showing up. But then again, the episode's still fucking extraordinary how grim it is.
Now, you want to talk about subversion. That episode begins with them doing their doctor thing, with Missy being the doctor. Like, they've gotten to the point where they're confident enough. Oh, we can just run in and do this. The doctor's eating fucking noodles.
And it says, I'm Doctor Who.
And then Bill gets shot.
With a massive hole in her chest.
And it's all the doctor's fault.
But it also cuts in between this beautiful scene where she's eating chips with the doctor on the roof and he's talking about Gallifrey.
It's one of the best examples of Moffat's time jumping I've ever seen. It's incredible. It's not confusing either. It's really well handled. I think that extra 6 months of production on Series 10 made so much difference.
Oh, it did. Doctor Who was back and it was fun and I can sit down and rewatch some of those episodes like that.
It's just sad that no one fucking watched Series 10.
I know. Because a lot of my friends are like, I didn't really buy into Capaldi. And I say, did you watch Series 10? And they said, nah. I was like, you fucking watch Series fucking
It's so
10.
much different.
It's better. And the reason why this is above Series 5. A, the good episodes I think are better. B, Capaldi on his best day is one of my favourite doctors.
Same.
He's
I agree.
Extraordinary.
He's outstanding on his best day. Like, he is, like in episodes like Heaven Sent and like The Doctor Falls, like, he's getting up there with the best doctors. Like, he's fucking awesome.
Love him so much. Capaldi, and Capaldi was so underrated and so undertreated.
And he, like, apart from like maybe Lie of the Lamb when he was being a trickster, like every other performance, he was fucking awesome in Series 10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
Lie of the Land was the one weak spot.
Yeah.
But other than that, he was extraordinary in everything. So even in worse episodes like Eaters of Light, he was still so entertaining.
The dynamic between him and Nardole in the episode is really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the whole fact that the question, like the mystery box, is solved halfway through the series.
Yeah.
It's missing in the vault.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I think the best thing about Series 10 is it's like, for the first time in a long time, it felt like you could sit down and be alongside the characters.
It was cozy. I didn't feel like I was watching something. I felt like I was
comfort food. It's like comfort food.
Yeah, it was just... I love it so much, and I was so grateful that it was back, and it was fun. Especially after Hellbent killed it for me. Husbands of River Song and Return of Dr. Mysterio, I'm fine with. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it was back. And it was...
And it's such a shame that that series was watched by no one and Series 11 was watched by everyone. Because
I'll take this over Series 11 any day.
It does the show an injustice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Series 10 is so good. So underrated.
Yeah.
Capaldi is extraordinary. I love it so much. Way to go, Moffat.
Of course, though, there is better.
Yes.
Because from here, for me anyway, I'm pretty sure you too, this is the point where we're getting to all-time great seasons of Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everything from here, like, my top 3 are all pretty much on par with each other, with only slight differences.
Yep.
I love them all. I miss when Doctor Who was this good.
It was event television.
It was fucking extraordinary, and I can't wait till Jake gets to some of this stuff.
Oh, so good.
And pretty much any issues I have with any of these series are very minor.
They're like individual episodes which were let down by a lackluster writer.
Yeah.
Chip.
But apart from that, magic.
Utter magic.
My number 3 is Series 4. Series 4, I think, represents the show at the height of its popularity. Like,
including the specials, by the way.
Yeah, oh yeah, this includes the specials as well. I think Series 4 is fucking epic. I love the dynamic between the 10th Doctor and Donna Noble. It's
easiest chemistry possibly ever between a Doctor and a companion.
Yeah. And on top of that, like, the lineup of episodes in Series 4 is just like dessert.
And the thing is, like, we talked about Series 9, how the good episodes were extraordinary. That's the case with this season, except the bad episodes range from good to great.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because in this series, you get stuff like Partners in Crime, The Fires of Pompeii, The Sontaran Stratagem, The Poison Sky, The Unicorn and the Wasp, Silence in the Library Forest of the Dead, Midnight, Turn Left, Stolen Earth, Journey's End, Waters of Mars. Like, this is a lineup of just extraordinary Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Epic stuff, like event television. It's just amazing stuff.
Exciting. So exciting. Murray Gold was on fire. Russell was on fire. The directors were on fire. The editors were on fire. Everyone was on their top form.
Yeah.
Rose was fucking extraordinary. Jack was fucking extraordinary.
Martha, Sarah
Martha
Jane.
was extraordinary. Sarah Jane was extraordinary. Everyone was on top.
Julian Bleach as Davros as well.
He was hamming it up, chewing that scenery until
Yeah.
there was nothing left, and it was extraordinary.
Yeah, I would take, even though it's a messy story, I would take The Stolen Earth Journey's End over an Avengers movie any day for me.
Same.
Yeah.
I love the Avengers films. They have a deep personal connection to me, but like, fuck that. Doctor Who.
That Series 4 finale is my childhood all in one episode.
I know. Same.
It's awesome. And like,
I remember going to school, and everyone
everyone
was talking about it.
that cliffhanger at the end of The Stolen Earth.
When he was regenerating, they're like, oh, is he going to regenerate
Like, you
now?
hear the stories about everyone in Britain was talking about what the hell's going to happen to the 10th Doctor.
Yeah.
It's just awesome television. And on top of that, Midnight, Turn Left, Waters of Mars, 3 of my favourite episodes ever.
Same.
And the fact that 2 of them are back to back and written by the same man is...
What else can
How
you say?
the fuck did he do that?
Because he's
Magician.
A genius. He's a genius.
Oh, and Silence in the Library Forest of the Dead, casually one of Moffat's best episodes also in that series. Genius stuff. Vashna Narada.
And even just the fun episodes
like
are
Unicorn and the Wasp
are
is so fun.
and underrated. It's
so good. And then like the fact that like a light-hearted one like Planet of the Ood has such significance to the 10th Doctor's arc and everything.
Yeah. Oh. And it's got
Yeah.
gross imagery, like in Planet of the Ood specifically, like the giant pulsating brain. That kind of stuff you'd see in classic Doctor Who, where they're just like, here's this weird and gross thing.
Yeah. And I guess End of Time's a bit of a tough one. I'm not sure if I should tackle it in this video.
We can tackle it.
Because it's such a controversial episode, but basically to sum it up, even if it has problems,
it's a perfect condensation. If you like the Russell era, you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a wild ride.
Yeah. So hungry.
Yeah. And yeah, I can watch Series 4 anytime. Brilliant. The only real criticism I have is that sometimes they fill out the episodes with a bit too many action scenes.
But I'd rather that
Yeah.
than pointless, fluffy drivel.
Oh, I would rather watch the action scenes from Series 4 than watch most of Series 11. Because at least they were fun. Yeah, as I was saying, it's only a minor nitpick. I think Series 4 is awesome, and
some of the most watchable television.
yeah. And I don't blame them for padding it out with action, because that's the theme they were going for that series.
It was a blockbuster done right.
But yeah, it's a couple of episodes like Voyage of the Damned and Doctor's Daughter and Planet of the Ood, where they add in a few action scenes to pad out the runtime.
Yeah, like Jenny jumping through the wires and the
And that stuff's cool, but like
it's adds nothing
sometimes
to the
it's just
story.
like they stop the plot just to have that, and it's kind of like,
It's not so good.
take it or leave it. But everything else,
Fucking extraordinary.
awesome.
Now, ready for my number 3?
I think I know what it is. You want
to have a guess?
Series 1?
Series 1.
Yep.
Because otherwise I would have snapped, because you know what my number 1 is.
Yeah. And you know what my number 1 is.
Yeah. Series 1. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for Series 1.
Yep.
Eccleston.
Oh.
Fucking extraordinary. Nuanced.
Special as well, the fact that that's his only series.
The fact that was the first time the Doctor came back. And really, it's probably the most nuanced the Doctor had ever been.
Yeah.
Most layered and complex, and we just got drippings of it throughout the whole series. And just as we started to really get to know all the facets of the Ninth Doctor, he goes. The Ninth Doctor is perfect. Now, there are a couple episodes in Series 1 that I'm not so huge on, but everything I like, I love. It is so entertaining, so watchable, so nostalgic, so wonderful. I won't dwell on it too much, because if you want to see our full thoughts, we did a 2-hour breakdown of Series 1. Go check that out. It's really, really good. It's with Jake.
Me, you, and Jake all agree that Series 1's fucking awesome.
It's extraordinary. Yeah. If some people skip 9, don't. Just don't. Do yourself a favour and go watch.
And you mean the Ninth Doctor, not Series 9?
Oh yeah, fuck Series 9.
Except for Heaven Sent.
Yeah. But Series 1, the Ninth Doctor. If you skip the Ninth Doctor, go back and do yourself a favour. Search it up on Netflix, find it on DVD, whatever. Watch Series 1. The only thing that is meh about it is some of the age special effects. But product of its time.
Exactly. And it's a minor nitpick as
It's
well.
a minor nitpick. And Adam Mitchell.
Yeah.
But he's only in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And that's it. And everything else is fucking extraordinary.
Yeah.
If Russell fucked it up, it would have been an embarrassing failure.
Like Series 11.
Like Series 11.
Yeah. If Series 11 had been the Series 1...
There wouldn't have been a Series 2.
No.
Or there may have been if the BBC commissioned it already, like 2.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they commissioned 2. I don't know what the...
No. No. They didn't commission 2 series. They only commissioned 1, and because it was so awesome, they did
Well,
more.
there you go.
And the rest is history.
Thanks to Russell, to Murray Gold, to... Oh, shit. What's... Phil Collinson?
Yeah.
And...
Julie Gardner.
Yep.
And all the directors as well. And the guests. Holy shit, the guest writers is like a collection of some of the most famous.
Paul Cornell, Rob Shearman,
Stephen Moffat, and Mark Gatiss.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent
What
work.
do you want?
Fucking fantastic. Your number 3?
2 is Series 3. Series 3 has recently overtaken Series 4 for me. It was actually my number 3 before this. But it's because I realised something. I realised that sometimes it is more important to write something tight than to write something big. Series 3 may not be as epic as Series 4, but it is fucking awesome writing. Like, from start to finish, Russell T Davies was on the ball. Like, he was after Series 2, I think he may have looked back on it and been like, there was some stuff that I maybe could have done better, and he absolutely perfected it in Series 3. It is such a good series of
The
Doctor
weakest thing about Series 3 is Chibnall.
Yep. And he's one of the weakest things about Series 5 as well, and Series 7.
And Series 11.
Yep. Series 3, I think it is
underrated
by a lot of fans, and it's because the storytelling isn't as conventional as Series 2 is. It's way more layered, way more interesting.
There's a lot more subtext, and even in the fun episodes, like the Shakespeare Code,
yeah,
like there's a lot of underlying things between all the characters, and even in a fun degree, like questioning Shakespeare's sexuality and things like that.
Yeah.
Just in every episode they try and go for it from multiple facets, except for 42, and just try and make it a nuanced script, and everything builds to a point.
Yeah, and pays
But
off.
you didn't know. It's not like The Crack or Bad Wolf, where it's something that you're told to look for. It is something you're presented, and it's in the back of your mind, and it's not like, this is going to be important later. Remember the fob watch and what it does. It's
actually part of the story.
It's part of a separate story
Yep.
that then later
Series
plays
3
into the
has the best story arc in all of Doctor Who.
bar none.
Yeah,
it's extraordinary.
It's absolutely outstanding. And might I add that Series 3 is the series where I decided who my favourite Doctor was.
Gridlock
David Tennant in Series 3 is fucking awesome.
on
Perfect.
fire.
He
He's
is
never bad in any episode of Series 3.
And he's got this perfect balance between his surface level personality he'd already established, as well as the depth he'd just gone into now, as well as it's actually the series where he feels most like a classic style Doctor as well. Very sciencey, and he's hit the perfect sweet spot in Series 3. And his relationship with Martha is one of the most underrated in the show. It's so complex, so layered.
It's a better understanding of toxic relationships than Clara and the Doctor.
Yep. It's such an interesting Doctor. It's not a traditional Doctor companion relationships. It's actually designed to be challenging, and the way it delivers it is awesome. And on top of that, Series 3 has the best single run of episodes consecutively. Like, opposite to Series 6 and 7's, closing time to Dinosaurs in a Spaceship, it's the opposite. Human Nature to the Sound of Drums is perfect television for 5 episodes.
Yep.
It's fucking brilliant.
You owe it to yourself to rewatch it. If you've seen it, which most of you
Is there
already have.
anything I don't like about Series 3?
Chibnall. But even then, the best stuff in Chibnall's episode were clearly influenced by Russell, which is Martha's phone conversation with her mum, where Martha doesn't know that the Saxon guys are there, and the Saxon thing isn't played like a huge deal.
Yeah.
It's just present. But it's not like Beware Saxon.
I guess if there's only one thing I can say about Series 3, it's not a negative. It's just that there are sometimes when I compare episodes to other episodes in other series, for example the finale. I actually really like Last of the Time Lords, but I think there's just other finales I like more, and that's just personal preference. But that being said, I still really like it anyway. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do prefer other finales, but in terms of a final story,
Oh yeah.
it's my favourite.
Utopia and Sound of Drums are perfect episodes.
It's fucking awesome.
It's so good.
Everyone go rewatch Series 3 and realise how awesome it is.
Yeah.
It's so underrated.
Yeah. Oh god, yes, brilliant.
So good.
Brilliant television. So good. That. Oh yes. Series 3 and Series 4, I don't think I've ever seen a better back-to-back period in any TV show.
No.
I mean, maybe.
And they were different.
Yeah, they were different as well. And they were showrun by the same person. With the same, main lead role. And it's just the best. The best.
And Series 3 introduced the blue suit, so 10 out of 10.
Oh yes, the blue suit. And the Jadoon. And Gridlock is awesome. Another perfect episode. And, that Dalek two-parter is so underrated.
So underrated.
It's a crazy... Again, similar to how I described the Martha relationship, it's designed to be a challenging, thought-provoking Dalek story.
And also I like the fact that it's not intentional, but it sounds like when the human Dalek appears, the music's going, "This is a human Dalek."
Yeah.
Ah.
Series 3 is full of creativity and wonder and just awesome
They were in
storytelling.
their stride,
Yeah.
and they perfected it.
Oh, so good. And
Fuck
that's...
yeah.
And the only reason why it's number 2 is because I like only one other series more, but that's no criticism against Series 3 because it's still fucking great.
Yep.
What's your number 2?
Series 4. The most entertaining shit you'll ever watch.
Pretty much.
So good. Donna and the Doctor could watch for hours and hours and hours, even in crap television. They would always be entertaining.
And it's not crap television, it's great television.
It's great television. But the one thing, the reason why it's number 2 is this overarching story is a bit contrived, but fuck, I don't care because it's so entertaining at the end. But I don't get as emotionally invested or feel as emotionally or I don't feel as rewarded at the end of the series as I do by watching the end of series 3.
If I would also say, series 4 very much relies on the first 3 series a lot, and that that's not a bad thing. It's just like without the first 3 series, you don't have series 4.
Exactly, series 3. Well, spoilers. You probably figure out what my
Yeah.
favorite is, but series 4 is awesome. Awesome television, so entertaining, but I just think the only reason it's number 2 is because as a package, it's not quite as strong as what my number 1 is.
But it's also
in that it also has my favorite ever episode of the modern series. Which, if you want to know what it is, go and watch our top 10 episodes video.
And off that, I would say it's one of the best series in terms of like an anthology, like just going in and picking out an episode to watch.
Random episode, yeah.
Like, hey, I want to, let's have a look at series 4. Wow, I've got this massive collection of amazing episodes to watch.
I feel like watching a sort of rompy Agatha Christie murder mystery, but with the Doctor Who spin. Oh, fuck, it's there, and it's exactly like that's described.
Yep.
It's a great...
I want to watch, like, a hardcore sci-fi high-concept episode with scary monsters, Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead.
I want to watch an episode which deals with a horrible tragedy, but injects some humanity in the middle of that. Oh, Fires of Pompeii. And it has that Doctor Who spin on the top of it.
Yep. I want to watch a parallel universe story where...
everyone fucking dies.
Turn left.
I want to watch the best television episode of anything ever. Watch, insert episode title here. Go watch their rankings.
Yep. I want to watch an epic blockbuster finale with all my favourite characters all together. Stolen Earth, Journey's End. What more could you want? It's brilliant.
Matt Smith flailing his arms.
No. Jodie doing a Sonic. No. No.
No more. No.
To be fair,
more.
Tom Baker was pretty good.
Yeah. Alright.
In Classico! Ha 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 ha! Anyway.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows what our number ones are?
We've made it so subtle.
If you've watched our videos so far, you already know this.
You know our respective number ones.
Yeah, my number 1 is Series 1. Apart from the long game, I love every episode.
Yeah.
I recently rewatched The Unquiet Dead and Aliens of London, and my scores for those actually went up.
Yeah.
Unquiet Dead, has flaws, but, I rewatched it and I'm like, no, this is a gothic horror storybook episode.
Yeah.
It's one of the weakest of Series 1, but I would watch it over any episode in Series 11.
Yep.
I watch it over most episodes in,
Series
6, Series 7, Series 8, Series 9. That is one of the weakest episodes of Series 1, and it's better than those.
Yeah.
I love Series 1. I love Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor. I love Rose in Series 1. I love Mickey. I love Jackie. I love the Slovene. I think they're underrated. I love the Daleks. Pete. The Empty Child the Doctor Dances is a famous episode. It's brilliant. Boomtown's underrated. End of the World, I think, is an underrated character piece for the Doctor and Rose. I think Rose is a great way to bring back the series.
The way he just burst in, said,
Yeah.
did it, you know it. You know the scene. It is the best Doctor introduction ever.
Dalek is one of the best episodes of TV ever.
Yep.
Apart from Adam. And Bad Wolf Partying the Ways got me into the show.
Yeah.
So, what more could I want?
Yeah,
Series 1's not just my favourite series of New Who, it's my favourite series of both New Who and Classic Who and all of TV. I love Series 1. I have maximum levels of nostalgia for it as well. And And the only criticism I have is Adam and some aspects of the long game. But apart from that, yeah, yeah, Yeah.
10 out of 10. Brilliant.
yeah, awesome Doctor Who.
My number one is season 14. No.
To be fair, season 14 is pretty cool.
That's fucking cool, yeah.
2 stories by Robert Holmes.
Yeah, oh, brilliant. But you take 2 stories by Robert Holmes and you replace that with 5 by Russell T Davies.
And 8 in series 1.
But no, my number one is series 3. The most underrated series of Doctor Who, in my opinion. It is phenomenal. The reason why this is my number one is not only is Martha a brilliant character and a wonderful anti-companion to the typical kind of thing you'd have, and she's the perfect antidote to Series 2 Rose, everything builds to a point. The weakest aspect is 42. And that's because Chibnall is a bland writer. But in that, it still has the scenes which lead into the Saxon thing.
It's still your favourite Chibnall episode.
It's still my favourite Chibnall episode purely because it ties into the whole Series 3 thing. It is extraordinary. And the fact that the Lazarus Experiment, the other weaker episode, ties so closely into Last of the Time Lords and Sound of Drums with the aging thing that that the Master uses in the laser screwdriver.
Yeah.
It's all just so cleverly plotted out and so intricately and masterfully put together. Because I'm big on long-term storytelling. And if I was based on individual episodes, this would still be my number one.
Yeah, because it's fucking awesome.
Blink, Human Nature, Family of Blood, Utopia.
Did I forget to mention Blink?
I think so, yeah.
Blink is one of the best pieces of TV ever, and it has nothing to do with the series arc.
No, it's just this little isolated story that Stephen Moffat was like, here, let me show my genius. And then he did, because he's a genius. He is. Massive brain.
Glada.
Series 3 is fucking awesome. Do yourself a favor and go rewatch it and realize how brilliant it is. It is my childhood. So nostalgia plays a factor, but even in rewatching it as an adult, it gets better and better and more nuanced.
Yeah.
And I just love it. My favorite season of any television show ever.
Yep.
I could watch it any time and have a smile on my face. Simple as that.
Yep, pretty much. It's like series 3, like for you, it's like it's up there. Like it's comfort food to you as much as like the John Pertwee stuff is.
Yeah, possibly even more so.
Yeah.
Like the only reason is John Pertwee's was multiple seasons of that.
Yeah.
But this is just one perfect season of the shit I like in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it
so
so
good.
much. Wonderful.
Russell T Davies.
We miss you. I cannot wait to read his Rose book.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What about Moffat's travesty?
Watch the interview between Russell T Davies, where Crystal D, I think it is, interviews Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat. It's hilarious.
Anything with Davies and Moffat's hilarious.
Yeah, like the Graham Norton interview.
Oh, and all these seasons we've just discussed, the Davies ones, they're better than, like, even Series 2 is better than most of Moffat, and it pisses on Chibnall. Like,
I don't know where Chibnall can go, but I want to end this on a positive note. So, Series 1 is awesome. Series 3 is awesome.
Series 4 is awesome.
Series 4 is awesome. Series 5's really good.
So is Series 10, so is Series 2. Everything else can fuck off.
So half of New Who.
Yeah, and half of Series 9.
And half of Series 9, yeah. But yes, Russell T Davies' era was just magic. Do yourself a favor and go rewatch it. That was our ranking of the series of Modern Who. What are your guys' ranking? Please tell us in the comments below. We'd love to
Yes.
hear it.
Yes.
Even if you completely disagree, please feel free to comment because
Yeah.
we do want to
Because
hear.
I've seen someone say that their least favourite was Series 3 and their favourite was Series 7.
And I genuinely want to hear where that thinking comes from, because I'm interested to know what it is that brings people into the series that I don't like, and what it is they don't like about series I love.
Yeah.
So please comment away. Cannot wait to read it. I cannot wait for this video to be up because I want to see what the responses are. Also, go comment on my Prisoners of Time comic review because I want to respond to comments, but no one's commented.
I think everyone's just like, what's this?
Yeah.
But it's actually brilliant.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank
I, this is my recommendation. I'm not a comic book reader, but I listened to him watch that and I was very entertained.
Hey.
If you want to hear him do voices of all the doctors and companions and whatnot, can't remember if it's all of them, but it's some of them.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. Go watch Prisoners of Time.
Day 2.
Day 2, I think it is, yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, see ya.